Hare Krishna. So now we are going to see Laghu Bhāgavatāmṛta study session. It's written by Srila Rūpa Gosvāmī and commentated by Srila Baladev Vidya Bhushana and translated into English by His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj. This book is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, who inspired the whole world to take up the path of bhakti. Contents, Part 1, Sweetness of Krishna, Chapter 1, defining the forms of Lord. So now I am going to Chapter 2, description of the Purushavataras and Gunavataras. Chapter 2, description of the Purushavataras and Gunavataras. Text 1. Athavatara katyante Krishno yeshu cha pushkala. Translation. Among the avatars described, Krishna is Swayam Rūpa, the complete avatari, the basis of all other forms. Commentary. By previously describing Krishna as Swayam, it's understood that Krishna is the root of all the avatars. Now begins a description of the avatars. It may be objected that Krishna is also glorified as one of the avatars. This verse response. Occasionally, he is counted as an avatara because of appearing in this world like the others. He, however, is Pushkala, Swayam Rūpa. Haima says, Pushkalastu Purane Shreshte. Pushkala means complete or best. Text 2. Tal-lakshanam. Purvokta vishvakaryartham apurva iva chet swayam. Dvarantarena vavhishyur avataras tada smrita. Translation. If the forms previously described Swayam Rūpa, Tad Ekatma or Avesha appear in this world as ever unique, either directly or through an agent, for certain purposes in the material world, they are known as avatars. Commentary. If the forms previously described such as Swayam Rūpa appear in this world directly or through an agent, they are considered avatars. The form that descends from the spiritual world to the material world is called an avatara. Matsya and Hamsa and Hamsha, who appear directly for Brahma, manifested forms without a visible source. Who appeared directly for Brahma, manifested forms without a visible source, according to Mahabharata and other scriptures. Whereas Garbhodakshaya Vishnu appears from Karnodakshaya Vishnu, Krishna appears from Vasudeva, and Rama appears through Dasharatha. What is their purpose? They appear to produce the universe or to perform activities within the universe, Vishvakaryartham. That means they appear to produce Mahat Tattva by agitating Prakriti, or to satisfy the Devatas by killing the sinful, to give bliss to the devotees longing to see the Lord by becoming visible to them, and to preach pure bhakti. Apurva Iva means that they appear ever unique, as if not having appeared before. Thus they are all remarkable. Text 3. Tachadvaram tad ekatma rupas tad bhakta evacha shesha sai Adiko Yadvad Vasudevadiko Picha. Translation. The agent of the Lord's appearance may be a Tad Ekatma Rūpa or a devotee. Mahavishnu lying on Shesha is an example of the Tad Ekatma Rūpa, agent cause of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And Mahavishnu lying on Shesha is an example of the Tad Ekatma Rūpa, agent. And Vasudeva, father of Krishna, is an example of a devotee acting as an agent. Mahavishnu lying on Shesha is an example of the Tad Ekatma Rūpa, agent, because he's the cause of Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And Vasudeva, father of Krishna, is an example of a devotee acting as an agent. Commentary. This verse explains the agents of the Lord's appearance. The term is explained fully. Text 4. Purushakya Gunatmano Lilatmanaschate Trida. Translation. There are three types of avatara: Purushavataras, Gunavataras, and Leelavataras. Commentary. This verse classifies the avatars. Text 5. Prayasvam shas tatha vesha avatara bhavanti ami atra yasyat swayam rupa so grave yakti bhavishyati. Translation. The avatars are generally the swamsha and avesha forms. The appearance of the Swayam Rupa as avatara will be explained later. Commentary. Swamsha refers to Sankarshana lying on Sesha and others. Swamsha refers to Sankarshana lying on Sesha and others. Sesha hears the Lord, not a Jiva. Avesha refers to Narada, the Kumaras, Prithu, and others. Generally means that sometimes the Swayam Rupa appears. Atra means among the avatars. The description of the appearance of the Swayam Rupa will occur after the discussion of the Lord of Vaikunta in chapter 5. Purushavataras. Purushavataras. Text 6. Tatra Purusha Lakshanam Yatha Shri Vishnu Purane Tasyaiva Yono Guna Bhugbahudaika Eva Shuddhopi Ashuddhaiva Murti Vibhaga Bhedai Jnananvita Sakala Sattva Vibhuti Karta Tasmai Natosmi Purushaya Sadavyayaya Iti Tasyaivānupurvoktat Parameshvarat Samanantaram Iti Swami. Translation. The Purusha is described in the Vishnu Purana. I offer my respects to the indestructible Lord, who is a portion of Krishna, who partakes of material creation through his glance, who is one but is many, because of manifesting many amshas, who is pure but appears impure, who is full of knowledge, and who is a cause of distributing all living entities. Vishnu Purana 6.861. Commentary. Sridhar Swami comments that this verse is continuous with the previous verse concerning the Supreme Lord. Sridhar Swami comments that this verse is continuous with the previous verse concerning the Supreme Lord. This verse describes the Purushavatāras according to the Vishnu Purana. There is a description of the Supreme Lord previous to this in the Vishnu Purana. Nantosti yasya nacha yasya samudbhavosti vridhir na yasya parinama vivarjitasya na pakshayam cha samupaiti avikalpa vastu yastam natosmi purushottamadyam idyam. I offer respects to the worshipable Lord, who is the source of the Purushavatāras, who has no destruction, no creation, no increase, no transformation into something else, no decay, and who is without doubt real. Here refers to a portion of the Lord. Anuguna means continuous material gunas. He is responsible for starting the material manifestation made of gunas by his glance and maintaining control over it. Though he is one without giving up that oneness, he becomes many by amshas, he shows different forms. He becomes many by amshas, he shows different forms. Murti vibhaga bhedai. He is a cause of distribution of all life forms. Sakala sattva vibhuti karta. But would he not become contaminated because of his contact with matter? The verses say that he is pure, though appearing impure, because he performs the creation of the universe by his will alone. And though he enters the universe, he does not touch it because of his Achinta Shakti. Text 7. Tatra karika parameshamsha rupoya pradhana guna bhagiva tad ikshadi kritir nanavatara purusha smriti. Translation. Here's an explanatory verse. He is known as the Purusha who manifests many avatars, who glances over matter to manifest the universe from Prakriti, who maintains its transformations, and who is the Amsha of Krishna. Commentary. This verse clarifies the meaning. Karika is a commentary. Amarakosha says Karika yatana vritya. Karika means torture and repetition. In this way, the characteristics of the three Purushas have been shown. Text 8. Asyavataratvam cha Shri Bhāgavate Dvitiya Skandhe Adyovatara Purusha Parasya iti. Bhāgavata Purana 2.642. Translation. The second canto of Bhagavatam describes the Purushas as avatars. The first Purusha avatar of Krishna is Mahavishnu. SB 2.642. Commentary. Parasya refers to Krishna, the source of the avatars. Text 9. Tasya cha bedha yatha satvata tantre vishnostu trini rupani purushakyani atho vidu yekam tu mahata srashtra Dvitiyam tantu samstitam tritiyam sarva bhutastham tani gyatva vimuchyate iti. Translation: the types of Purushavatara are described in the Satvata Tantra. The wise know that the Purusha consists of three forms of the original Vishnu: Sankarshana, the wise know that the Purusha consists of three forms of the original Vishnu, Sankarshana. The first is the creator of the Mahat Tattva. The wise know that the Purusha consists of three forms of the original Vishnu, that is Sankarshana. The first is the creator of the Mahat Tattva. The second is situated within the universe. The second is situated within the universe. The third is situated within each living entity. Knowing these three, one becomes liberated. Commentary. The creator of the Mahat Tattva is the Antaryami of Prakriti called Sankarshana. The creator of the Mahat Tattva is the Antaryami of Prakriti called Sankarshana, Mahavishnu. The second creator of the Mahat Tattva is the Antaryami of Prakriti called Sankarshana, Mahavishnu. The second is the Antaryami of Brahma and is called Pradyumna, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. The third is the Antaryami of all Jivas and is called Aniruddha, Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Text 10. Tatra prathamam yataikadashe bhuter yada panchabhir atma srishte. Puram virajam virachaya tasmin swamshena vishta purushabhidhanam avapa narayana adideva. Translation. The first Purusha is described in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. When the primeval Lord Narayana created his universal body out of the 5 elements produced from himself and then entered within that universal body by his own plenary portion, he thus becomes known as the Purusha, SB 11.4.3. When the primeval Lord Narayana created his universal body out of the 5 elements produced for himself and then entered within that universal body by his own plenary portion, he thus became known as the Purusha, SB 11.4.3. Commentary. Narayana is called Adi Deva, original God, because he has his own inherent powers. When Sankarshana Atma created the abode of the universe out of the 5 elements generated by himself and entered the universe as Pradyumna, that form became known as the Purusha. Narayana is called Adi Deva, original God, because he has his own inherent powers. When Sankarshana Atma created the abode of the universe out of the 5 elements generated by Srishti himself and entered the universe as Pradyumna, that form became known as the Purusha. Text 11. Brahma Samhitayam cha tasmin avirabhulinge Mahavishnu Jagatpati Sahasrashirsha Purusha iti Arabhya Narayana sa Bhagavan Apastasmat Sanatanad Avirasan Karanarno Nidhi Sankarshanatmaka Yoga Nidram Gatastasmin Sahasramsha Swayam Mahan Tadroma bila jaleshu bijam sankarshanasya cha haimani andani jatani mahabhuta vrutani tu iti etadantam. Translation. Brahma Samhita also describes this first Purusha. Translation. Brahma Samhita also describes this first Purusha, having previously been in another form covered by effulgence. Mahavishnu, the Lord of all living entities, appeared in the form of Narayana. Brahma Samhita also describes this first Purusha, having previously been in another form covered by effulgence. Mahavishnu, the Lord of all living entities, appeared in the form of Narayana. This form of Mahavishnu, the soul of the universe, created countless universes because he has countless avatara forms within the universe. He is said to have countless heads, countless eyes, countless feet, and countless arms. The Supreme Lord is called Narayana because the waters of the Karana ocean arise from his eternal form. This form of Mahavishnu, the soul of the universe, creates countless universes. Because he has countless avatara forms within the universes, he is said to have countless heads, countless eyes, countless feet, and countless arms. The Supreme Lord is called Narayana because the waters of the Karana ocean arise from his eternal form. The waters are non-different from Sankarshana. This Mahavishnu lies in Yoga Nidra in this ocean. Countless avatars reside in him. The seed in the form of the mass of jivas lay within the hair holes of Sankarshana, Mahavishnu, since the time of the previous devastation. The seed in the form of the mass of jivas lay within the hair holes of Sankarshana since the time of the previous devastation. When he places the jivas into Prakriti by his glance, Prakriti took the form of golden eggs. Prakriti took the form of golden eggs, the primitive forms of universes, covered with the 5 great elements before they combine and become functional. Brahma Samhita 5:10 to 13. Commentary. Mahavishnu or Sankarshana appeared visibly as a form of Narayana, expanded from Krishna's original form representing him. This form appeared for glancing over Prakriti. But in the Vishnu Purana, it is said, Apo Nara iti prokta apo vai nara sunava tasyata ayanam purvam tena narayana smita. The word apa and nara are synonymous for water, since the waters are considered the sons of Nara, the primeval male or Mahavishnu. Nara means the offspring of Nara means the offspring of Nara. Since these waters take shelter of Ayana, shelter of Mahavishnu from the ancient past, he is called Narayana. So since these waters take shelter of Mahavishnu from the ancient past, he is called Narayana, Vishnu Purana 146. So what connection has this as the verse with this definition of Narayana? Commentary. Mahavishnu or Sankarshana appeared visibly as a form of Narayana expanded from Krishna's original form, representing him. This form appeared for glancing over Prakriti, but in the Vishnu Purana, so what connection? Thus, Brahma Samhita gives a similar explanation. The Supreme Lord is called Narayana because the waters of the Karana ocean arise from his eternal form. Because the water arose from Sankarshana, it is considered non-different from Sankarshana. Sankarshanatmaka. He lies sleeping Yoga Nidram in that ocean on his bed of Sesha. The word Narayana is used suitably to denote Sankarshana lying on the causal ocean, which takes shelter of him. He has countless amshas such as Pradyumna. His activities described. His activities described. Lying on his bed of Shesha, he glanced over Prakriti. By that glance, he placed the group of small jivas who are the seed of the universe, Bijam, and who were lying in his hair pose during Pralaya into the womb of Prakriti. These words are supplied to the verse to complete the meaning. Then the golden globes appear. The rest is clear. Lingam atra swayam rupa syanga bheda udirita. Translation. Lingam refers to a form different from the original. Jiva Goswami explains in his commentary on Brahma Samhita that Mahavishnu becomes covered with effulgence at the time of placing the jivas in Prakriti. And thus his form becomes indistinct at that time. This is called Linga. This has already been explained in the commentary on the previous verse. Text 13. Dvitiyam yatha tatraiva tad anantaram pratyekam evam ekam shad Vishati Swayam iti. Translation. The second form of the Purusha is also described in Brahma Samhita. Eternal Mahavishnu, the soul of the universes with countless heads, enters into each of these universal eggs by means of expanded forms. Brahma Samhita 5:14. Eternal Mahavishnu, the soul of the universes with countless heads, enters into each of these universal eggs by means of expanded forms. Brahma Samhita 5:14. Commentary. Another version has Pratyandam instead of Pratyekam. Swayam means Swayam Prabhu and refers to Mahavishnu. Thus, Evam, after placing the jivas in Prakriti by his glance, he enters into each of the universes, appearing in each one as Pradyumna. He enters into each of the universes by these amsha forms. The ablative form ekam shat can express a missing verb particle ending in ya, ekamsham avirbhavya, appearing as an amsha of Mahavishnu. Garbhodaka Shaya, text 14. Garbhodaka Shaya, Padmanabho Sav, Aniruddhaka, iti Narayanopakyana, Yuktam Moksha Dharmake, Soyam Hiranya Garbhasya Pradyumnatve Niyamaka. Translation. In the story of Narayana and Moksha Dharma, it is said that the Vishnu lying in the Garbhodaka with the lotus growing from his navel is called Aniruddha. In the story of Narayana and Moksha Dharma, it is said that the Vishnu lying in the Garbhodaka with the lotus growing from his navel is called Aniruddha, but is actually the form known as Pradyumna and is the producer and Antaryami of Brahma. Commentary. In the Narayaniya section of the Mahabharata, the second Purusha is described. Asman Murtish Chaturtiya Sasraj Chesham Avyayam Sahi Sankarshana Prokta Pradyumnam Sopi Aji Janat Pradyumna Chaniruddhoham Sargo Mama Puna Puna Aniruddha Tata Brahmatan Nabi Kamalodbhavaha. The fourth form created the indestructible Sesha and is called Sankarshana. He gave birth to Pradyumna. The fourth form created the indestructible Shesha and is called Sankarshana. He gave birth to Pradyumna. From Pradyumna appeared myself, Aniruddha. I carry out creation repeatedly. Brahma arose from the navel of Aniruddha. Mahabharata Shanti Parva 339, 70, 72. Aniruddho hi lokanam. Hare Krishna. I would like to stop here. Thank you so much.